All right. Grixis Breach in Historic. So this is a 4-color variation with Teferi in it here. Underworld Breach is a card that's kind of been good in every format. There's even a Combo S build in Standard for it right now. So this card, you play this, and then you can cast cards from your graveyard by escaping them, getting 3 cards out of your discard pile. Oh, I need to update the Stream Decker, right? And the basic idea is that with Underworld Breach, you get 2 copies of Diligent Excavator into play. And then with Diligent Excavator in play, you cast Mox Amber from your graveyard again and again and again. And Diligent Excavator ensures that you always fill your graveyard up and recast it over and over and over again, and then you deck yourself, and then eventually you cast Thassa's Oracle from your graveyard using Underworld Breach and win the game. So we played a Teamer variation that was playing Uro once before on stream, and it felt pretty powerful and reasonable. Interested to see how this more disruptive build feels. Got both Teferi and Thought Erasure in this deck. Yep, those will get added after we're all done. After we're all done today, Unode. Did anything in Historic get bumped today? Well, this deck just got bumped into today's stream. Originally, I wasn't going to do Historic today, but Clipsy had some big biddies that said otherwise because they're great. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, once I work my way through a little bit more of the Pioneer queue, and we get it down, I think I think starting next week, I'm probably going to be dropping down to doing 3 Pioneer decks per week and doing a little bit more Historic. Let's lead on Thought Erasure here, I think. My hand's relatively slow overall, huh? Do I take their Wild Growth Walker? I don't really care about them gaining life, but this thing can get pretty big. Jade Light Ranger is also kind of big, and taking this stops this from growing. You know, honestly, I don't even think we're gonna need to wait till the fall for Historic to be really sweet. With Jumpstart happening this summer, I think Historic has a lot of potential much sooner than that. You can always check the deck queue here and see if anything's been bumped over it. And yes, we will still be doing Historic tomorrow. So I don't think I want to Wishclaw just yet. Yes. From my understanding, not all of Jumpstart, but some of it is going to be on Arena, and all of the cards that are in it are going to be Historic legal. So I don't think they gave exact metrics on how many of the cards, but some of them will be on Arena for sure. All right, so with that draw, we just go fetch Diligent Excavator here. And then can we start comboing? We could technically try and go for it here, right? And we're looking to draw a another Diligent Excavator here. If we find another Excavator before we run out of cards in our bin, we win the game. So every card we cast at this point takes 3 cards, and it mills 2 cards. Yeah, Emry can give us extra looks here. Oh, I could just sit here and mill Emrys too then eventually, right? Yeah, we lost to a variation of this deck yesterday on stream. That is correct. Yes, you need to make sure you do not exile your Oracle. Is correct. Do not exile Oracle. You will be very sad. Yep, Emry delves 4 and mills 6, but it costs us 2 mana to do. Gosh, where are our other excavators, huh? We're probabilistically going to win from here. Was that a turn 4 kill for us? I feel like that was a turn 4 kill for us, huh? Man, is Demonic Tutor a good card? Demonic Tutor seemed pretty good. How on God's Green Earth am I supposed to sideboard here? Do I want Aether Gust here? Hit honestly, hitting submit might be a real decision. Ooh, baby, it's cold outside. Yeah, I'm gonna click submit. The opponent's playing just like kind of mopey mid-range things. Mask! Thanks for the half a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Sweats and modern Judd. Hey, Judd just won a thing, right? Don't be mean to Judd. It just did something. Judd's not dead. Be nice to Judd. Alright, so we'll Erasure this turn, and then next turn we can go Wishclaw Emry again. Alright, we'll take Hostage Taker, because that's a disruptive card to our game plan. That's not fully true, Clipsy. At least, it depends on what format you're talking about, I guess. Because, oh, I think they just played that tap by mistake. Been there, done that. Wishclaw has seen play in Legacy Storm. Just as a point of reference. John's not dead. It's surely alive on the inside, roaring like a lion. Yeah, we've actually played a little bit of it in Legacy if you scroll back in my archives. Next deck's a lot of fun. Alright, we drew Underworld Breach. I don't have Mox in yet, though, so I think I just shock this in and plan to sack Witching Well this turn. Oh, I could Claw and then Teferi pick it up there. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I kind of feel like I want my Teferi to bounce their 5-drop. So, like, Teferi, in addition to being good with Wishclaw Talisman, it also gets rid of hate cards. It protects you from counter spells. It just does a lot for a little, basically. Okay, that's a Diligent Excavator. What if I play Excavator and then Thought Erasure them here? I think that's the play. And then I think we're probably good to go next turn, huh? We'll fetch up. We fetch a Mox. Oh, I need 2 Mox, right? I need a second Mox. So yeah, so if we draw a Mox, they're dead here. All right, I think we just Teferi bounce their Yarok.
Let's slow this down.
Oh, you need something legendary for mana. That's a good thing to point out. That's definitely true. No, because they would have attacked Teferi. We need something legendary for mana. Uh-oh, they shocked it. Are we about to get Legions ended? Just Incubation Druid. Phew. Do you have the Mythic Point Challenge thing? I mean, I'm qualified for it, if that's what you're asking. Am I gonna play it? I don't know. I think I'm scheduled to stream Saturday anyway, so maybe we'll just play it as part of the stream. They're not guaranteed dead here, right? Let's do this and grab a Mox. And then if this Mox mills a Mox, they're dead. I don't have enough mana, chat. Your spells cost mana. Alright, we hit the Mox, they're dead. That was fun. GG, opponent. See, at least when Historic's a combo format, we get to play on a sweet client. So they're deterministically dead from here. We get to mill our entire deck and then play Thassa's Oracle. Is Underworld Breach the next Oko? Is it just like a card? It probably won't be banned in Standard, but it's like, is that a card that's just gonna get gutted from multiple formats? Feels like there's a real chance we could. Yeah, Breach have been running around in Modern too, from my understanding. Okay, this could be... This start is probably good against what we're doing. If there's anything that's good against our, like, spell-based combo deck, it's probably turn 1 Siren Storm Tamer. Hey, good morning, Squad Chief. If you're looking to watch older, larger non-rotating formats on Magic Online, I've been doing a bit less of them. I know Squad Chief does a bunch, so they're a good follow for you. If you're looking for another content creator that does those older formats, well, I'm doing a little bit less of them here. Pretty sure we just take their threat here. Easy bin on the Mox. Is it an easy bin? I guess if I take the Mox, I can play Emry next turn. I can go Wishclaw, Mox, Emry, which is probably good. Yeah, I'm going to leave that there so I can do this next turn. Yeah, definitely want to keep an eye on the auto tapper with this deck. Auto tapper does not seem to take into account the fact that Emry is going to be cheaper to play and it'll be a blue spell down the line for you a lot of the time. Yeah, the fact that Breach doesn't have the Yawgmoth's Will line of text or the flashback text where after it recasts a card, it goes back to your graveyard instead of being exiled. Like I said, I really wish we could dig into R&D's head and just be like, what were they expecting this card to do? Like, what is the thing that they predicted it was going to be okay? Opponent is, in fact, very curious. That's fine. I read the M files on it, and they knew they were releasing a broken thing. All right, I mean, that makes me feel better in a way. In a way, like, if they didn't miss it and they expected it to be busted, that's a good thing. So, I'd like to address something that someone said in chat. Someone just said they need to consider eternal formats when printing these cards. I actually disagree with that statement. So, in my opinion, and this is something I fundamentally disagree with a number of people in the Magic community on, in my opinion, they do not or should not consider non-rotating formats when designing cards. What they should do is they should be willing to ban things in those formats when there are issues. So the problem isn't that they don't the problem isn't that they don't consider them. The problem is that they don't actually resolve the issues that they have. A card breaking a non-rotating format but being sweet and standard doesn't mean that card shouldn't be printed. It should mean it should be allowed to be sweet and standard, but then they should do their jobs and clean up the older format. Yes, what I completely agree with Pelly. It's a mindset issue. People talk about bannings like banning a card means that they failed in some way, when in reality, banning a card should be something viewed as normal and healthy and just something that's part of the game. All right, so I get to do this. I get to go get a Mox. Gosh, Wishclaw Talisman's been good in this deck. So they're dead, right? We put Excavator into play here, and then we just start moxing them. So, double Excavator, double Mox, Underworld Breach lets you deck yourself deterministically. So Greg's just like, I mean, this deck is technically 4-color, right? I agree. I think Magic would be a better game if ban lists were more fluid from a gameplay perspective. I think part of that, though, is they allow themselves to be holden from an MTG finance perspective. And actually, something I'm really hoping for in Historic, and maybe this is foolish to hope for because I've been burned a lot by Wizards of the Coast before, is that I really hope that because Historic is going to be a primarily digital format, I really hope that Historic is going to have more managed and fluid ban lists. I hope that when MTG Finance isn't a consideration on their mind, they're going to be more willing to both ban and unban things. I will be incredibly disappointed if we get to the point where they give us the next set of Historic cards and they ban everything on the Historic suspended list. I think they should ban some of them, like Veil, and Once Upon a Time. Those cards should be shift deleted for Magic in general. Get rid of them. But I think you could give Field of the Dead a chance in this format. I think you could probably give Oko a chance in this format. Correct, but I think not only should they be aggressive and liberal with their bannings in this format, I think they should be aggressive with just how they sample things. They should try and unban things regularly too. How am I boarding here? I want Dispute. I'm pretty sure I want Cast Down. Is this card too slow? This card's too slow. Emry maybe is a trim. Is Thought Erasure too slow? It gets countered by a lot of their stuff. I don't even think they need to do that, Clipsy. I think they could just experiment with the format in general. Maybe Lazav is a trim I could make. I worry about having enough legendary things for my Mox, though, if I cut this. I'm gonna trim a couple Thought Erasures. I don't want to dilute my primary game plan too much. One of the mistakes that's easy to make with decks like this is boarding in. How is this list versus the Teamer one? Wishclaw Talisman's been really impressive so far. We're only a match and a half in. This is only our second game of the second match, so we got a bit to explore here yet. Feels like the raw power level is here, similar to the raw power of the Teamer list. I don't really have a strong opinion one way or another on the details yet. Man, some of the polls coming out of South Carolina are putting Biden at 30+%. It'll be interesting to see if he actually performs well there. I feel like if he doesn't come in first there, he's done. I don't know if I need to ask, but how is Pioneer? You really don't. You know the answer. Phyrexian mana in general is just like a real big stain. Clearly our deck is busted. Do a quick explanation of a brokered convention scenario. So what a broker convention means is a single candidate didn't get 51% of the delegates. And what happens after a brokered convention is the DNC has things they utilize called super delegates that they use to weight the vote past that. If there's a brokered convention, from my understanding, the DNC effectively gets to pick which of the front runners they want to win. Which would almost assuredly not be Bernie. I think I bottom that and keep these. I think I want to lead on Fortress here so I can play Witching Well on 2. This also means if I draw any untapped land, I can play Excavator. That pull is 15% undecided. That's super relevant. That's good to point out. Thanks for that piece of info, Stormy. There were people in the New Hampshire primary that, like, in exit polls were like, I don't know, I just picked one at random, or I did eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Just truly scientific process for democracy. I think I'm bottoming these. Can I get another scry here? Do I need more blue mana? I think I'm just like digging for Moxen and this at this point. The opponent conceded the second game. I'm not attacking with Excavator because I don't want to lose it to Seal Away. And the 1 point of damage doesn't really matter. That's not a bad pickup. I think we still just lead on this though, right? Yeah, I agree, Stormy. If Bernie wins SC even by a small margin, he should hopefully be unstoppable going into Super Tuesday. Thoughts on the Electoral College? It's just as bad. It's just as bad as what the DNC has set up. The person with the most votes should win the election. And when I say that, I actually mean it, unlike the Democratic candidates who said that and then got up on stage and said they'd be okay with a broker convention nominating someone who didn't have the most votes. In my opinion, the fact that Buttigieg and Warren and all those other people up there who have regularly rallied against the Electoral College had the audacity to point blank say they don't think the person with the most votes should get the Democratic nomination is hugely hypocritical. And if I hadn't already landed on Bernie, them being hypocrites in that instance would have been the swaying motion for me to land on Bernie personally. All right, so we've got one Mox in the bin, and we've got a Witching Well in the bin. So if they don't have a counterspell, we get to YOLO this Underworld Breach next turn. That being said, they're drawing a ton of cards here, so good chance we get negated or absorbed. Has Underworld Breach replaced Keese's combo? I don't think so. So there isn't a ton of data on this format, and like the decks we play on this stream, it's important to remember, are largely viewer submitted decks. So like what we play isn't necessarily representative of like what's good, bad, or otherwise, or what I think is good, bad, or otherwise. Want to leave blue mana available here if this resolves. I assume this isn't resolving. And then we're dead to Trawler next turn, right? Because of Teferi. Is this a bad matchup? Possibly. I don't know. We've only played 1.5 matches with the deck. Dispute sounds good. Thought Erasure sounds good. What are we supposed to trim? I think this is a matchup where Witching Well is good. Witching Well plus Emry is potentially fantastic here. Is it crazy to trim Wishclaw Talisman? Like, what if I trim like a Talisman and 2 Lazav? I mean, to be fair, the opponent's archetype doesn't have a ton of threats in it, most likely, right? They likely have a few Dream Trawlers and that's it. But I agree, if they have counterspells into Dream Trawler, they're going to be in a good spot. Hey, Fuji Blaze, wield your sword well. With great power comes great responsibility. Seems fine. Missing black mana, but gets to go 1, 2, 3 here. One, two, three. It's just elementary. What could it be? Gonna bottom both of those. Lazav's kind of a filler creature in this archetype, so. Hey, Blex, thanks for 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Perfect. Is there a dispute over this excavator? Are they not supposed to be clearing the spot they're clearing? But I'm just checking out some of their options over there. Yeah. Hey, Hypnos. Thank you for the half of your support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Again, gonna hold off on attacking with this excavator because I don't think getting it randomly sealed away would be good for us. Well, that's very bad for us. So yeah, opponent's got some disruption. Now they have a clock. Gotta counter that one, I'm afraid. Which feels bad because I shocked, but it's gotta go. Gotta go right now. Gotta go right now. Is it crazy to shock this in and then just, like, use this to flashback Teferi? I feel like it's not crazy to use this to flashback Teferi.
Only I really should have seen that coming. Trust me. You'll thank me later.
Yeah, I agree. Taking their threat off the table also has upside. Teferi's good. Yeah, if we could protect the Teferi, you could just bounce the Breach for sure. That's a Wishclaw Talisman. Okay,
I've got time.
Let's see what we find here. Feels Magic the Gathering, man. Feels Feels Magic the Gathering. If I chump block here, I just don't have enough resources next turn to go off, right? So I think I just have to let this happen. The problem is they just have like infinite counter spells in their hand most likely. All right, let's go to the next match. Let's just roll right on along here, shall we? Sometimes you play Magic, other times Magic plays you. Yeah, we talked about that the other day, Kenix. The Mana List Dredge deck. I mentioned that I would play it for a large donation, but I'm not making a special exception for it at the moment. I still have like a dozen Pioneer decks in the queue I need to get through, so not pushing those off to add more Moto decks otherwise. You have so much land, that must mean your vote matters more than mine, right? That's exactly correct. Last game, my vote was worth 3.5 times as much as yours. I think it's just trophy, right? Because that one interacts with me. It's not a red land. Let's get rid of it. They get to kill my Lazav with the Chupacabra. It's like not really a big deal. I have another one. Would like to get my Surveil on. I'm gonna bin that. I don't think that's what we're looking for. It's been a hot second since Chupacabra has been cast on stream. So I'm gonna go ahead and bounce Land War Elf here. Okay, that's an Excavator. So we're a Mox away from getting to do stuff here. It's actually our second time playing against the Sultai Wild Growth Walker deck in this set.
That's more like it.
If they don't have a discard spell here, they're probably dead next turn. No, they're guaranteed dead because of the Wishclaw Talisman, right? Laziv's just filler. It can copy a Diligent Excavator that's died. They killed my Excavator, chat. That's less good for me. Now we need to draw an Opal. Land A.
I've got it.
So if I make Lazav an Excavator, I can play Wishclaw Talisman, activate Wishclaw Talisman, get Mox, and then start milling. I have 11 cards in my bin. I think I have enough to go here, right? So if I do this, I mill myself. We do this, we get a Mox. You won't be able to escape the other one in time. Yeah, we will. Right? I do this. And then we play this Mox. Escaping 1, 2, 3 cards. This mills 2. We do this. We make mana with this. So we're not deterministic until we have both Excavators in play, but we get to get the other Excavator into play off of the Breach. Hey, Party Bus, thanks for keeping me around. I appreciate it. Welcome back. So then this does this, and now I can cast Diligent Excavator. And now we're deterministic, right? I exile 1, 2, 3 cards. And now it takes me 3 cards to escape the Mox, but it mills 4 with double Excavator in play. And again, like, when you look at this combo on paper, it has a lot of moving pieces in it. But when you actually start playing it out, you realize that Underworld Breach actually draws you those pieces, right? Like when you're self-milling, Underworld Breach is like multiple combo pieces all in one. Yeah, well, we hit Oracle, we Mox loop until our deck is small enough for Oracle's trigger to win the game, is what happens from here. So, 22 cards in my deck. We're going to sit here and mill until I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Devotion to Blue. Correct, yeah. We have plus Oracles plus 2, so I get down to 6 cards in my deck. It's fine. We're milling 4 a pop here. It's really not a big deal. What if they're holding up Dispute for my Oracle? Well, 1, I'm floating mana with the Mox while I do this, and 2, I think it's funny that you think my opponent can respond to my spells in 2020 Magic. I think it's really adorable that your comment was, what if they have interaction? Because this is 2020 Magic. There's like 6 different ways their interaction doesn't matter here. Correct. Even if I didn't have Teferi, I could recast Oracle after it gets countered, etc. Plenty of ways to eat this Reese's. I assume they're making us do this because they want to see the contents of my deck, which is fair. Hey, Pathfinder, thanks for the support. I appreciate it. there's a donation I forgot to read earlier, too. Let me pull up my dashboard here. This is for Heliod Owl Build Around. Sounds great. Oh, Sunshine sent a big donation earlier for Abzan mid-range. Yep, sounds good. I'm sorry, Sunshine, if you're still here, I completely... I think that happened while we were clicking in Pioneer. I apologize. My opponent's playing like Sultai stuff. I think we just click submit against together one of these, right? Oh, click submit again. One of the things that's silly about Teferi is even if my opponent has something like Grafdigger's Cage or Leyline of the Void, even if I don't board in a card to deal with those cards for game 2, Teferi can just bounce them. So it's really not a big deal. Cycling Emrys with a single excavator can also go infinite very deep with Moxin in a pinch. Kinda. Oh, you're saying if you only have one excavator? Yeah, that's true. If you have like 2 Mox single excavator, that is accurate. Did our opponent like walk away from the computer after that first game? Did sideboarding take the maximum amount of time? Was anybody paying attention? Amonkhet is not on Arena. I guess I should restart. Just in case our wonderfully release ready client is, you know, having a hiccup. Thanks for the tier 2 resub, Boston. I really appreciate that generosity. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I mean, you can't assume salt. They could have had internet issues. They could have had real life come up. You know, stuff happens. I'll still sit here and farm my gold, thank you. Exploring the idea of playing Kroxa does not seem unreasonable in this deck. If you want more of a fair game plan, playing Uro in the Teamer build felt very reasonable. Sure. Daily deals reset in 2 minutes. They reset at 8 a.m. PT. I need my dopamine, Watsy. Give me the deals. Give me the deals. Show me the deals. Yes, I agree. I think the daily deals have accomplished what they've been trying to do in a bunch of different ways, which is sinking gold. They seem to be very effective at that. Just plus this for now in case they play something I want to bounce. Uro, sure. That's an excavator. Okay, so I think we're gonna run the Wishclaw Talisman, bounce by Wishclaw Talisman line here. Because that's just good, clean living. You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. Give you a present, take it back.
To meet you. Seek and find.
They named Brazen Borrower. They play Nexus of Fate. They could be a ramp, just be a ramp deck too. The Blast Zone makes me think they could be Nexus of Fate. So I have a Mox in there. I have a Diligent Excavator. We have Underworld Breach. So I can play this. You know what? I was supposed to copy Excavator first there, wasn't I? What if we run back the Teferi Take Your Toy Again play? Yeah, let's do that. Let's grab an Excavator. Play this. Play this.
I am not going to sit this one out.
Pick this back up. And I think we just hope for another turn here. Gonna activate this, because why not? And then, so next turn, we can go copy Excavator, play this. And this generates a mana too. I don't even need the Wishclaw Talisman, right? We're just good to go. We just go copy Excavator, play Breach combo. That only takes 6 mana. So if we get a turn with Teferi, they'll lose.
My notes helpful.
So again, we're deterministic from here. They're currently playing Hearthstone, so they can't interact. Every Mox cast takes 3 cards out of our graveyard, but mills 4. So we get to deterministically deck ourselves from here, and we make mana while we do it. And then we eventually cast this Thassa's Oracle and win. Opponent's seen enough. So here's a real question. How interactive do I want to be in this matchup? I feel like the answer is not very. I think I want to cut Witching Wells to kind of slow and a Lazav and like bring in, you want Aether Gust? I was going to say I just bring in Dispute, right? Because I kind of expect them to have counter spells post board as well. And this is super easy to hold up. I think I like this plan because like my main deck has Teferi and Thought Erasure, which are both hate cards for them. Now, I don't think exiling their yard is super meaningful. Yeah, this is... I guess the lack of black mana makes it a mulligan. That's close, though. We're on the draw. I'm gonna YOLO it. We've got Teferi. Any land lets us cast the Teferi. If we find a black source, the hand is very good. Pop, 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 poker face, pop, pop, poker face, ma. Feels magic, man. Ceratops makes Gust useful for a very specific window. I think our deck's gonna struggle to hold up reactive 2-mana cards in a lot of situations. Yeah, I think we can back it in here. Back it up, back it in. Let me begin. Mana base catching up with us a little bit here. I think this one's a mulligan because, like, it doesn't have very good spells in it, and it needs to draw lands. So, like, this hand needs to draw both lands and spells, which makes it a mulligan. This is probably close to keepable. How much to cut the standard queue? You can cut something into standard for 50. Crunchy if you want. Yeah, Nimble Obstructionist is probably fine. Maybe I'm supposed to keep the second Emry there just because it helps fill up the bin for Underworld Breach. Incoming, Jake. Jake, incoming! Hit the dirt! Now, downside here is the way I shocked, I can't counter a breach this turn. Or I can't counter a breach. I can't counter a reclamation. We can counter that, though. Ooh, they missed a land. That's good for us. What do you got? That one. One of these things is not like the others. Y'all want to see something kind of gross? And we'll play this Teferi and we'll bounce Breach. They draw a counterspell.
Sorry I'm late. Don't worry, I got this.
That's a little annoying, but not the end of the world. I can run this play back if I want. Hang on, we can do it again. I think I'm actually just going to run a similar play with this here. It lets me cantrip. That's unfortunate. It's a scotch unfortunate. Alright, so I get to untap with Wishclaw here. Can I win the game? I don't have any Mox in, so I don't think so. I could get another Emry. I only have 2 blue mana, though. Crunchy, crunchy, crunchy. Thanks for the big tip. I appreciate it. I'll get some Jund up next. So they have Narset out, right? So, like, I can't draw cards that way. think I just smack her and then play this so I can attack her down next turn. And like I get to hold up Mystic Dispute for the reclamation here, which is great. And who knows, maybe they even just cash her in here, because she's going to be dead next turn anyways.
Keep an open mind.
Hey, Gecko Pirate, thanks for the Bezo Bucks. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I'm just gonna bin this because I just want as many cards as possible in my discard pile for when we go later. I don't think I want to do this turn. Maybe I do. I guess I can just go get a Mox, and then if they give it back to me, I get to search it again next turn. Well, they have a Mystic Dispute, so like we're not winning the game this turn, not even a little. Do they not have a land? If they don't have a land here, this dispute might let us win next turn. Depending on what these cards look like. That's a pretty good draw. So Emry gives me an extra mana here as well, because I have Mox, is important to know. Got cards, chat? Oh, yeah, I should play Second Breach, right? No, we're okay, right? Because I have 2 disputes. Like, there's a dispute in my bin, too, chat. Yeah, who's excited to play Historic on mobile later this year? Chat, the Hasbro CEO told me Magic was coming to mobile. Are you implying this wouldn't be a good experience on mobile? Why would Business Daddy lie to me, chat? Business Daddy wouldn't lie to me. Business Daddy loves me. So they have a dispute that we know about. So I'm not just like jamming the Tef because like I want to make a bunch of mana. Also, like, what are they gonna do? Like, they don't have a way to exile my Thassa's Oracle, right? Nah, I don't think it's worth bothering with any of it. They should just like make a bunch of mana and do the thing. Like, if they counter our Oracle, we just replay it with Underworld Breach. It's very silly. Alright, let's do one more with this. We'll take a quick break. We'll dive right into some Jund Escape and then some Adventure Nights in Standard. Sure. It's like not amazing, but it's got a bunch of selection. It's got some disruption. It has all my colors of mana. Yeah, I'm into Mox Amber. It's one of the cards we need to combo. So, I think I take Op Tier because it's their card selection. There's some merit to taking Brazen Bar because it's their fastest clock, though. I would like to give my opponent a small amount of applaud here as you see their different selection of lands. See, this is one of the things that's really important to recognize the difference between Paper Magic and Arena. In Paper Magic, when your lands mismatch, it means that you're a disaster and lazy, generally speaking. On Arena, it's extra effort to mismatch your lands. So on Arena, the inverse is true. On Arena, mismatching your lands means you went the extra mile to customize your deck. The Liquid Courage, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Oglandia. Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday wherever you're at. I had to get in here for the land comment. I try. All right, what are we doing here? It's definitely just Talisman. And then, like, are we like getting something with it this turn? I feel like I am. Do I want to do this turn? If I get something, they just get counterspell, right? Is the thing. I think I'm supposed to wait till the turn I want to use it. Like I mentioned, we played this match earlier. I wouldn't be surprised if something like this is challenging, especially with one of their better draws powered by a Curious Obsession. So I'm not dead on board next turn. They can flash in Borrower, but then they only have 7. But then I have to go for it the following turn. Hey, Dimstar, thanks for the 13 months. Ads are a good reminder. Do I just Witching Well? I think I just do that, and I hope to do something next turn. Hey, Pythrion, thank you for the 31 months of support. That's a long time. I appreciate you keeping me around. If they don't have a counterspell, are we good here? I go Excavator into Laz, into Mox, go get Breach, do stuff. Okay, so I can't beat any form of interaction here, but if these are not interaction, we do win the game here, I believe. Yeah, I can't beat Spell Pierce, I can't beat Quench, I can't beat Dispute. Oh no! Not Tricky Dick! Yeah, I think that one beats us too, huh? Old Tricky Dick. That means I won't have enough cards. Won't have enough cards to escape. Yep. Close. Not unsurprising there. The opponent's archetype has a ton of disruption in it. Would not be surprised this matchup is challenging for us. Yeah, the good draws out of mono blue just devour these combo decks. Oh, I should have conceded by shocking the land. Yeah, good call. Good call, missed value. What a spew. Did you assume my gender jokes, or did you just assume X's gender are never welcome in my chat? Take a 10-minute break and think about that. I encourage you to do some research. Jokes like that tend to exist solely at the purpose of punching down at people who already are discriminated against and suffer a lot in the society in which we live. Don't do that. Don't be a jerk. Have a little empathy. I think it's just Lazav. Next turn we can go Wishclaw, Mox Amber, Emry. Well, Amber doesn't make mana. Yikes, that's a rough one. I think I have to take Curious Obsession here and just hope they brick on the land for this for a turn. I think is my plan. I mean, Jin generates an incredible amount of pressure. So I think I'm gonna Teferi as like, hey, look, a distraction here and get a little bit deeper into my deck. I guess if I tapped different there, I could have played a 2-drop this turn. If I like shocked in this land, I could like play Mox and then play one of these, but I tapped off my Godless Shrine, so I can't do that. You think I want to save Tef? No, I don't think so. If I save Tef this turn, he just goes away on a future turn. Doesn't seem particularly constructive. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I'm silly. They're gonna Brazen Borrower something in response here. I guess if they Brazen Borrower in response, I get to bounce their Tempest Shin, though.
Let's slow this.
So I guess this works out okay.
I am not making this up as I go.
Alright, so I have 2 Mox. I have this. We're missing Diligent Excavator. So I think the plan here is fetch Excavator, try and go for it. I'm not even sorry for months. This morning I played twice. Did I? You do? Nah, not that I know, Draka. I think it's just funny variants. Alright, now worth noting here, we are not deterministic yet. I need to find a second Diligent Excavator to be deterministic here. I currently have 8 cards in my bins. There's a real chance we break off here. So we cast this, we mill 2. Make blue mana, play this. There's the other Diligent Excavator. That was where we needed to hit it. All right, scoreboard. This will be our last match with this one heading into game 3. We'll either be 5-1 or 4-2 at the end of this. We'll take a quick ad break while we get things flipped over. When we get back, we're going to do some Jund Escape, followed by Adventure Nights and Standard for the rest of today's stream. Thursday's a little bit shorter stream for me. Planning to be done about 2:30, 2:45 Central Cornfield time. I did see that, Doof Monster. I think that's pretty accurate. I think the only way Bernie gets the nomination is if he gets an outright 51%. I'd be incredibly surprised if a broker convention nominates someone who classifies themselves as a progressive. I need 2 Mox to combos. I think I'm keeping both of those. I'm immediately punished. Don't play a second one. And obviously, my view on that is pessimistic. Maybe they'll do the right thing. We'll see. Hard to know for sure. Unsummon is technically interaction against us. I mean, I think that's a pretty fair assessment, Interrock. Like, Hillary was a centrist or corporate Democrat, whatever you want to call it. And Buttigieg, Biden, Klobuchar, they are all corporate or centrist Dems, however you'd prefer to call them. Well, I mean, I guess we'll just keep taking the retorts here. Is this worth it? I think that might be worth it. We're talking about how the DNC, I feel, is unlikely to use superdelegates to push Bernie to 51% should he get, say, 40% of the vote. Feels magic, man. Feels magic, man. I keep getting questions on how Bernie's going to pay for these things. How do I answer? There's two ways to respond to how is Bernie going to pay for these things. The first one is pointing out that it's hypocritical to ask the question, how do we pay for these things whenever we're trying to help people? But we don't ask how we're going to pay for things when we want to go to war or build a wall. Then the more pragmatic answer is that Bernie released details on how to pay for all of his proposals on his website. So there's the actual if you want to have an actual discussion and engage in it, there's some actual data points for you. I think we're dead, huh? Should we have a sweeper in our 75? I feel like we should have a sweeper in our 75. No, Mexico's already paying for the wall. I think we should run on the platform of, well, if nationalized healthcare, we'll make Canada pay for it. Canada hasn't paid for anything yet, right? For those that don't understand American politics, that's sarcasm, because people literally voted for the orange bigot we have now, thinking that a different country would pay for our border wall, which is impressive. You showed someone Bernie's website to answer that question, and he replied that smoke and mirrors financing. So that person, PhD Shine, when you give them actual information and they respond with that, that's the key, that you just should not engage with that person anymore. And if that person's not really critical to your life, I'd just remove them from your life. They're not interested in engaging from an intellectually honest perspective. They're set in their worldview, and anything else that runs contrary to that, they're not going to accept. They're not someone that's going to be worth your time to engage with. Do I prefer a borderless country? That is a false equivalence. So saying you don't want to spend money building an archaic border wall that's a waste does not mean that you want open borders for your country. It's like gun control. When I say we need gun control desperately in the United States, that doesn't mean remove every firearm from the United States. There are lots of things you can do between what we do now, which is very little, and getting rid of every gun in the country. Like, most of these things, like real life, is shades of gray. If you understand immigration in this country, you understand where immigrants actually come through and where the issues are in the immigration system, and fixing the immigration system is better than building an archaic wall that's bigoted because we're only talking about border security on the place where one type of demographic of people come in, and that's pandering to fear of that demographic. As far as this deck goes, I feel like, hey, good game, Space Herring. I feel like the one thing I would change about this is not having a sweeper in this 75 felt like a mistake, especially with Wishclaw Talisman to like go pick it up. So I don't know if it would have necessarily won us the last game, but I feel like not having like a ritual or a cry in the 75 is probably a miss. I think I would like that to happen. Military spending, we spend too much money on our military. That's just the TLDR. Whenever we spend money on military, people are just like, yeah, that needs to happen. But when we need to like make sure people don't die so they can get healthcare, we like can't pay for it suddenly. Thanks for the third of a year, Scruff McGruffin. All right, what are we doing? Normally I tease the next deck before we load it up, but Crunchy did a cut the line for Jund Breach, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that imported. I'm gonna do a quick ad roll while I do that, and we'll be back in just a few minutes with some standard here on Arena. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Correct. I also think if you want to take a pragmatic approach too, you could say like people like, well, they're not going to pass every